nabaphansi bebashonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda basala bebabongezansi uphandingili kanongqawusebo. Bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebashonele sonke satshiswa inkomo zamadoda ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebahlonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebahlonele zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebahlonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebahlonele zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi zonke ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebahlonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa abaphansi bebahlonele zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebahlonele bavuma bonke bengakholwa ukuthi babulala imfuyo beyixabisile nabaphansi bebahlonele zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi zonke zatshiswa ingoma zamadoda basala bebambo ngezansi uphandilika nonjasi.
By virtue of the powers vested in me as the Vice Chancellor and Principal of Walter Sisulu University, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees and awarding of diplomas and certificates. May you please be seated.
Greetings to the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, and the academia that is seated here in front. Ndibulise abazali bonke. Ndibulise i-graduates zanamhlanje. Ndibulise wonke umuntu okhona kulo msitho. Egameni lenkosi yethu uYesu Kristu. Amen. Igama lami nkosinathi Mbende. Namhlanje ndizawuthetha nje kancinci sivule ngomthandazo. Sifunda iBhayibhile zethu kwincwadi yokuqala kaSamuel chapter number 17 verse 37. Ifundeka ngolhlobo. Wathi uDavide, uYehova owandihlangulayo ethupheni lengonyama nasethupheni lebhere, nguye oya kundihlangula esandleni salomfilisti. Today, I want to tell everybody inside here that the life we live is about the choices we make every day. And if we do the right choices, at the end of the day, the life will be just right. And the presence of God in our lives is actually giving us the guidance to do those right decisions. Life will always throw options to select from. Twekhetha phakathi kwezinto eziphambi kwakho. And amaxesha amaninzi asazi ukuthi sikhetheni. Life has shown us uba kuyakwazi ukuthi ubukhetha ucimba ukhetha kakuhle kanti ukhethe kakubi. So the presence ukuze sikwazi ukukhetha kakuhle. We meet David ngexesha he's graduating from being a shepherd to a warrior. He meets the armies that are defeated and terrified by Goliath. He was faced with a choice whether to face the fears that his brothers have been facing for 40 days and 40 nights, or he also chooses to be afraid as any one of them. But David is known to have been walking with God. At a particular passage, uthi uYehova ngumalusi wam andisweli lutho. uDavide indoda ibisaziwa ehambe noThixo. So now uthi ndizakulwa nalomfilisti. I choose to fight this Philistine. My message today is just to tell you, as you go out of this university, you will face so many Goliaths. You have to choose the right thing to do. You have to be with God. There are certain fights that are not worth fighting for. And there are certain fights that you have to fight. But the rudder, the navigator of your life is God. It is God who will tell you, fight now. And it is God who will tell you, no fight at this stage. I just want to tell you one thing. The fight is important. Whether you win or you lose a fight, it is important. In history, there is a commander of the Athens armies during the Peloponnesian Wars. His name is. He fought and he lost a fight in the Amphipolis where he was captured. But his losing and his defeat did not demoralize him. He decided, he chose to write about losing his fight. He was recognized as the father of scientific history. He decided to do the right thing at the worst of times. You always have a choice. Choose life and not death. Choose to live. You always have a choice. You have to choose. Fanele ukhethe kakuhle. Bible lithi khetha ukuphila ungakhetha ukufa. Ndibeka phambi kwakho izinto ezimbini, ukufa nokuphila. Khetha ukuphila. It is time that you choose amongst all the challenges esinazo, inequality, unemployment and poverty, but choose to do what is right. There are no jobs out there. Go and make those jobs. There are no opportunities out there. You have studied and capacitated enough. Go and do those opportunities. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we give you praise, we give you honor, we glorify you.
Thank you.
Thank you, BCC Choir. Good morning. I would like to acknowledge, in her absence, the Chancellor, Dr. Sheila Sisulu. On behalf of the Chairperson of Council, I would like also to acknowledge Mr. Puti, members of Council, Dr. Khekle, Dr. Nabileyo, Ms. Ndlazi. You are acknowledged and most welcome today. WSU colleagues, support staff, academics, and IMC members, you are also acknowledged. Members of the Student Representative Council, I see them in the audience, and of course the ISRC President, Mr. Batando Mangisa, you are most welcome and acknowledged. Labor formations present today, parents and friends, ladies and gentlemen, our honorary doctoral graduate, Professor Dr. Depen Fenhart, most importantly, our BCC graduating class of 2022, you are most welcome and welcome you all. My name is Professor Rashila Songa. I'm privileged to serve as the Vice Chancellor and Principal of this university when it stands on the precipice of far-reaching but necessary change. Likewise, it is an honor for me to serve this institution and the university community at large. It is not an honor, it is an honor that I do not take lightly, as my team and I operate under the banner of servant leadership without fear or favor. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony, which happens to be the last one on this cycle of graduations. Graduation ceremonies are a highlight of Walter Sisulu University calendar because we celebrate the accomplishments of those that have worked tirelessly to succeed in their academic endeavors. Graduation allows me to recognize and thank all those who have supported our graduates and diplomates in various forms throughout their studies. I want to take a moment to acknowledge and congratulate our honorary doctorate candidate, Professor Dr. Depen Fernhout, who will soon cross the stage. Professor Depen Fernhout has worked tirelessly on vaccine development specifically related to COVID-19 and collaborated with our development partners at Northwest University. If I were to read out his impressive achievements and his CV, which is on the program, we would have very little time left to attend the graduation. But allow me to say in brief that his achievements academically, practically, and in the field of research and innovation are phenomenal. Our decision to award an honorary doctorate today is in response to his role as principal investigator in developing COVID-19 vaccine and his insistence that the vaccine that he has developed must respond to Africa for Africa. His tireless efforts, I thought you were going to give him a round of applause for that. His tireless efforts have already returned dividends in terms of development and capacitation, and we soon hope to see more results from vaccine candidates developed by him as we continue to collaborate with him and other scientists especially on the African and European continent. We are proud to be associated with projects and people who aim to make a difference in Africa and our nation's future. It is for this reason that we would like at WSU to institute or to build a niche area in the area of vaccines, and thus we will be establishing as soon as possible an endowed chair in vaccine design and development in the Faculty of Health Sciences. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge the Teppenhelt family for their role in supporting his ceaseless efforts to ensure that Africa is not left behind in the drive for vaccinations for COVID-19 and related diseases and pandemics that affect the African continent. While I cannot go into detail regarding his ongoing research for proprietary reasons, I am proud to acknowledge his achievements. Professor Teppenhelt, WSU salutes and congratulates you. Going back to Walter Sisulu, it's a home for approximately 30,000 students across all 4 campuses. We are a rural university or coastal university surrounded by communities that face daily struggles in the myriad forms. We cannot ignore these socioeconomic conditions because they are lived experiences of most of our students. However, our background alone does not define who we are or where we are going, and this belief is reflected in Vision 2030. We have chosen to be bold and unapologetic institution in our pursuit of excellence, and you are a reflection of that trajectory. My opening remarks brings me to my main message for my address today: the role of choices and their effect on your future. Everything in our lives is a choice, and I heard the pastor also speak about choices. Even doing nothing is a choice. At any moment, we have hundreds of decisions and options, some significant and some seemingly insignificant. Too often, however, we operate on automatic, doing things by habit rather than making conscious decisions. This is the danger of decision-making. As Maxwell says, and I quote, "Life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you," close quote. The decision you must make is whether your choices are conscious and active or reactive and automatic. From my personal experience, the beauty of education is that it gives you the latitude to make choices, something many of our forefathers did not have. You are therefore the generation that can choose a new direction every moment, how to act, how to react, how to interpret others' moods, how these decisions will affect you, and how you will affect others. These choices are not made only once, but every moment of every day. These decisions mold and sculpt your experiences and actions in the moment, and eventually your life. When things happen that are not to your liking, you can either allow them to bring you down or choose to find opportunities in them. Please do not be the generation that relies on squeaky wheel syndrome. A squeaky wheel syndrome makes the most noise, the most sound, but it also causes most disruption in the work and entrepreneurial sphere. Which path you choose does not matter as much as how much you travel that path and why. And all of this is a matter of choice. If you choose out of fear, out of guilt, out of greed, and your journey will lack authenticity, and your decision-making may result in failure in the long term. If you choose a path of integrity, of love, and the desire to know and understand yourself, you'll reach untold depths. Life is all about what we choose in the moment. Nobody can choose for us. Only we can do that. Others can inspire us to choose one path or another, just as we can inspire others to choose more beneficial paths. This inspiration is more through deeds and actions rather than just words. Words can be powerful, but words followed by action are incredible in the impact that they have together. The consistency of words and actions together is inspirational. For our part, we have chosen to be a future-oriented university, which is unapologetic in its mission. A reading of our Council-approved Vision 2030 will show that our mission is built on excellence, on sustainability, delivery, and quality. This brings me to my next point. WSU as an evolving, unique institution, as such, I cannot stand before you and say that everything at WSU is 100% correct. Our history alone dictates otherwise. However, I can say without any fear of contradiction that you, the products of our service, are proof that WSU trains high quality, skilled and ambitious graduates who do not take information at face value, but able to analyze it and form own choices and what roads to travel. Today, I wish a life of choice to all of you here before us. Choices also help you to rediscover yourselves, to ask yourselves why you are where you are and how you got there. Choices compel you to think of the routes you chose or navigated and the routes not taken. The journey of self-discovery compels you to make difficult choices, and the fear of failure may hold you back. Thus, I want you to fear failure, but do not dwell on that fear. Do not let it rob you of the promise of tomorrow, or afraid to choose the road less traveled. Fortune favors the bold. Be bold, courageous, authentic in your dealings with the world. Be kind, live with honor, and everything else will fall into place. To our graduates here today, I want you to please stand, if you do not mind, and look over to your parents. Please stand. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Okay, may you please be seated? Thank you. Thank you very much, graduates. I want you to acknowledge that despite their unique circumstances, they are the ones that chose to support you and ensure that you got where you are today, where you'll now be a graduate. A person that can choose the road less traveled into the future and make choices that will determine the future choice or course of your life and the lives of those around you. In conclusion, I welcome you all here today and encourage the joyous sounds of cheer and ululation from family members as their sons and daughters' names are called out to cross the stage to be kept by the VC and hooded by the registrar. Please do so briefly so that you can allow others to hear the names of their loved ones as they are being called. Please put your cell phones on silence. Sit back and enjoy the proceedings, and thank you.
can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. Thank you.
Section 81 of the Walter Sisulu Statute, dated 2014, page 70, pronounces on honorary degrees. Subsection 81(1) states, the university may, without attendance and examination, confer an honorary degree of master or doctor in any faculty on any person who has rendered a distinguished service in the advancement of any branch of learning or technology, or upon any person the university deem worth of such degree, close quote. Subsection 81(2) states, the conferment of honorary degree on a person does not entitle that person to practice any profession on the grounds of that honorary degree, close quote. Subsection 81(3) states, the criteria and procedures for conferring an honorary degree are determined in the rules. Madam Vice Chancellor, Professor Marcus Diffenhart has met all the above listed university statutory requirements. The university confers Professor Diffenhart an honorary degree of PhD in health sciences from the Faculty of Health Sciences. Thank you. I therefore invite Professor Diffenhart to stand up. Let me read his biography. Professor Marcus Diffenhart was born in Ravensburg, Germany on the 14th of December, 1975, from a Roman Catholic family. He obtained his basic medical degree from the University of Frankfurt in Germany in 2004. And at the same year, he achieved his medical doctor registration with a full probation as a physician. Yes, you can do that. He completed his PhD degree in medicine at the same university and another PhD in patent management from the Department of Economics and Management at the Mendel University in Czech Republic. Professor Diffenhart also achieved LLM, Master of Laws degree from the School of Business Law at the FUM Hamburg. He is an experienced board-certified plastic and aesthetic surgeon, as well as an emergency physician in Germany, born in 1975. He believes in the philosophy that says a comprehensive education is key to lateral thinking, which in turn is a strong driver for innovation. With lateral thinking plus hard work, everyone can become an expert in almost any field or even create new fields himself or herself. Such experts are especially needed to build up a sustained and integrated system for preparedness for future pandemics and for African diseases. Professor Diffenhart is a strong innovator with a long list of patents registered in his name in Europe and in North America, 32 in total, born in 1975, of which some are still under evaluation. He has published 8 peer-reviewed journal articles and conference proceedings, including 1 book, 4 monographs, and 4 magazines in his areas of expertise. Professor Diffenhart joined Walter Sisulu University in June 2021 through a joint research project hosted by the Northwest University, Walter Sisulu University, and AFVAX Research, which is a private sector company, as an innovator and researcher, and has developed 3 human candidates vaccines against COVID-19. Furthermore, in his vision, he is convinced that vaccines developed and manufactured on the African continent, in Africa, by Africa, for Africa, hold the key to a healthier and better Africa, and even to a better world. He is grateful that he can only contribute his own modest share towards this effort, and in so doing, to add his own tiny little bit to make this a better world. I now request Professor Diffenhart to move his side.
So thank you. Madam Chancellor, Chairperson of Council, Madam Vice Chancellor, Madam Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic Affairs, Deputy Vice Chancellor Institutional Support, Registrar, Convocation President, Union members, SRC staff, colleagues, graduates, soon-to-be graduates, students and parents. Good day to you all. It is my pleasure to be invited here today to gratefully receive an honorary doctorate from this venerable institution. As I'm not a politician, I'm not used to making such speeches. But no worries, I promise I will try to be not too boring. Ladies and gentlemen, I was given the difficult task to say something in only a few minutes that would leave you inspired. My first reaction was, wow, can I really do that? But then I remembered that this was exactly what I felt, how I felt, when I graduated from medical school almost 20 years ago. Of course, I was elated and relieved and full of ideas. But there were also some doubts nagging inside me. Am I good enough to be a medical doctor in the real world? Am I ready for life as an adult? Will I find a field that challenges and satisfies me for the rest of my life? And most importantly, will my girlfriend marry me? No, well, she did not, but I found another one, probably even better one, not too far later, and she gave me 2 wonderful children, so nothing to really complain about. And also I did find tasks and jobs that were exciting and challenging, and I got opportunities to serve my country and the humanity in ways I would have never dreamed of. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm also reminded of Albert Einstein, the great scientist who has been honored by Time magazine as the man of the 20th century. The older Einstein was once traveling from Princeton on a train when the conductor came down the aisle punching the tickets of every passenger. When he came to Einstein, Einstein reached in his vest pocket. He couldn't find his ticket. So he reached in his trouser pockets. It wasn't there. He looked in his briefcase, but he couldn't find it. Then he looked in the seat beside him. He still couldn't find it. The conductor said, "Dr. Einstein, I know who you are. We all know who you are. I'm sure you bought a ticket. Don't worry about it." Einstein nodded appreciatively. The conductor continued down the aisle punching tickets. As he was ready to move to the next car, he turned around and saw the great scientist down on his hands and knees, looking under his seat for his ticket. The conductor rushed back and said, Dr. Einstein, don't worry. I know who you are. No problem. Really, you don't need a ticket. I'm sure you bought one." Einstein looked at him. "Young man, I too know who I am. What I don't know is where I'm going to." Dear graduates, when I look around here and look into your eyes today, I see that you are today all a bit Albert Einstein, as I was as well at my own graduation from medical school, not knowing where life will take me. For example, not knowing that I will very soon find myself as an emergency physician in Kosovo War or later on a helicopter in Afghanistan War, even surviving an RPG attack. And now I'm here receiving an honorary doctorate for development of vaccines, a field I was not even dreaming of ever entering. I think this is one of the great mysteries of life. While we know where we are coming from, we have no idea what life has in store for us, where life will take us. However, for me it seems to be a mixture of hard work and sometimes some luck, or some people might even call it destiny. So probably this is now the right moment to tell you a bit more about myself and where I'm coming from and how my life developed like I would have never expected. I grew up in a small village in southern Germany as the second youngest of 4 children and the only boy. I must admit, at that time, it was not fashionable in Germany to have more than 2 children. When I was little, my father was a simple electrician. Later, he took his A-levels at night school and studied part-time, eventually becoming an electrical engineer for the German railways. My mother was at that time a secretary, later becoming an accountant. Although living in a rich country, we couldn't afford much. Nevertheless, my parents invested everything in their own and the education of their children. Today, my elder sister is a top manager, my middle sister is an ophthalmologist, my youngest sister is a dentist, and I'm a plastic surgeon. Ladies and gentlemen, education is the key to success, no matter where you are coming from. With education, you become everything what you dream of. By the way, I always wanted to become a doctor. It has been my great dream since I was a little boy. This little boy that could hardly read regularly took the train to the next bigger town to lend medicine books from the library there. But my start at school was not smooth at all. I shall not hide from you that I only made it to grammar school because I sold a computer to the headmaster of my primary school, who then convinced my parents of my potential and strongly recommended that I go to grammar school. And suddenly, everything was totally different at grammar school. I loved science. And in the first year, I already won a book prize for outstanding academic achievements. And I still remember the title of the book that I chose. It was The Compound Genes Are Made Of, a textbook about genetic engineering. I could not have imagined at that time that almost 35 years later, I would become a genetic engineer myself and develop a DNA vaccine on my own. However, after my A-levels, I had to do compulsory military service because I was very sporty at that time and I loved challenges. I applied for a paratrooper special unit and I was accepted. After 18 months of compulsory military service, when I just turned 20, I was asked by my company commander whether I could imagine being a regular soldier. I denied this and pointed out that I wanted to become a doctor. He then told me that I could also become a doctor in the army and recommended that I apply. Without really knowing whether I want to do that or not, I applied and I was invited to the assessment center. You must know that at that time there were a lot of unemployed doctors in Germany. That's why there were a lot of applicants for studying medicine with the military, because that was a guarantee for a job. So, and when I finally passed that several day lasting and quite challenging assessment center as one of only 70 from several thousand applicants, I was so flattered and immediately signed a commitment contract without thinking much about it. Consequently, I had to go to officer school and complete an officer course, after which I was given 6 years leave to study medicine at a public university in Frankfurt. During my final year at medical school, I spent a significant amount of time at Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town. This was when I started to fall in love with South Africa. And this love continues until today. After that, I was sent to the military hospital in Hamburg for training in general surgery and emergency. During my time with the military, I found myself in several missions in different crisis regions of the world, including Kosovo and Afghanistan, experiencing interesting but also very dangerous times. But also traveling around the world with politicians as their private doctor or being responsible for the health and well-being of the G7 First Ladies during the G7 peak meeting were part of my life at that time. Later, during my plastic surgery training, I had an idea for a new kind of laser device for skin rejuvenation. This marked another turning point in my life and was the starting point for my R&D and let's call it more industrial career. Together with a professor from the Technical University in Hamburg, I developed and patented a laser device. Unfortunately, we didn't get funding for anything more advanced than a simplified prototype. And I can tell you, I knocked on uncountable doors and met many pharmaceutical companies to ask for money, but they all refused and said it is a very interesting project, but unfortunately too early stage. But strange enough, I often heard the sentence, but we are interested in you. Your knowledge seems to be very broad. Maybe you can have a look at something else, a more advanced innovation, and tell us your honest opinion about that. So I suddenly ended up in doing due diligences of potential assets for pharmaceutical companies. In so doing, I got a fantastic insight into all kinds of innovations and got even more stimulated to drive my own innovations. Sometimes I saw solutions for problems and thought I can do it better, but differently, simpler, cheaper, and more effectively. But I must admit, sometimes I was also quite irritated, because for their acquisitions, those companies didn't always follow my recommendations at all. So at one stage, I asked a board member of a huge pharmaceutical company why they are listening to, but keep on paying, not listening to, but keep on paying me. His answer was a real surprise for me. He said, "We have 100% trust in your scientific and medical knowledge and your evaluations, but we doubt that you always fully understand the economical part of the business behind the innovation." I was shocked. And I asked him what makes him think so. He went on and told me that there are two main reasons. First of all, you don't speak our language. You don't use our economic terms, our vocabulary. Second, you don't have a certificate like a master's degree in a business-related subject. After the first shock was faded, I started to think about how I could solve those issues. So I started to study commercial law with a general focus on M&A and a more personal focus on intellectual property law. And after 2 years, I received the Master's of Laws as the best absolvent of the year, and finally had the right certificate, and even more important, I was suddenly able to speak the language of these business people. But then I became even hungrier and wanted to do a PhD in economics as well. So I did, and now I hold a PhD in medicine and in management. Thank you. Being disappointed to be so depending on other parties for building a technical medical device, I got at one stage fascinated by molecular biology, synthetic biology, and bioinformatics. And so I started to look into peptide and protein design, and later also nucleotide design. I got involved with the probably most innovative skincare brand in the world, by the way, a South African brand, and started to design ingredients and cosmeceuticals for them. Cosmeceuticals are, by the way, cosmetics that are active as pharmaceuticals but fall under cosmetic regulation. When I later went into the private practice as plastic surgeon, in parallel, my research and my innovation consulting became more and more important for me and started demanding more and more of my attention. As a consequence of my scientific output, I was in the course of time appointed as professor at several universities, and so I have also been an extraordinary professor at the WSU University for 1 year now. As my research made further progress, I also caught the attention of some key opinion leaders, and consequently I was nominated for seats in several exclusive and non-exclusive advisory boards and in some boards of directors. When in 2020 the pandemic hit the world, unexpectedly my professional life changed radically. In February 2020, I was challenged by a Swiss millionaire to develop a COVID-19 vaccine, especially for Africa. Such a special vaccine should fulfill the special demands of the African population, like, for example, matching the genetics, but it should also fulfill the infrastructural requirements that are totally different in Africa than elsewhere in the world. First, I was very hesitant. But then I accepted the challenge and researched all about immunology and vaccine design. Recognizing that vaccine design is actually very similar to protein design led to a further major turning point in my life. And now I'm standing here today in front of you and doing this speech. But please let us jump back into 2020 and 2021. I was very happy at that time, and I'm still grateful that I got the chance that my vaccine candidate was preclinically tested in a joint project between the Walter Sisulu and the Northwest University. Although our study had some real technical limitations, I think I can dare to say that our results were outstanding. And we all, this means a huge group of scientists from both universities that significantly contributed here, learned a lot from this first project, and so we recognized how important it is to build capacities and to establish the right framework for such a kind of development. But as the market for COVID-19 vaccines was at that time already occupied by Big Pharma, we decided not to follow up the COVID vaccine, but rather do something new, to develop a vaccine for another disease. And what exactly we're doing is currently still a secret, but I can tell you, this time we dare to think bigger and more sustainable, as we do not only a single vaccine candidate, but also build up a platform and a platform technology for vaccine design and development in Africa to concretely serve the African needs and demands. Dear ladies and gentlemen, one of the most important things I learned in those almost 2 decades after my graduation is that it is absolutely okay to have sometimes doubts. Doubts about yourself and doubts about what's happening around you. In fact, all progress humanity has ever made is rooted in doubt. We as a human race have ever only moved forward because someone, somewhere, sometime had dared to question the status quo. I'm convinced that it has never been more important to fight for the value of doubt as a catalyst for change. And this especially accounts for science. Dare to doubt the current solution. Be confident, believe in yourself, and always search for new or better solutions. Dear graduates, I hope that one day when you will look back on your time here at the WSU, you will realize that the most important thing that university has taught you might not be those formulas that you have memorized or those technical features you know how to dissect. I hope the most important thing that you have learned here is the ability to deal with ambivalence, that it is to accept contradiction as an inescapable part of our human existence. Discover ambivalence as a source of vigor. Do not let uncertainty paralyze you, but rather use it to energize you. For all the great things that you have learned in the past year, be driven not by what you know, but by what you don't know. Keep in mind that learning is a lifelong process that does not end with a degree, and always remember that you don't learn primarily for degrees, you learn for life and you learn for yourself. I'm further convinced that it's not so important what exact certificate or degree one holds, but a broad education, and a degree is the basis in order to know how to learn, how to study, what sources one can trust and use, how to come to new conclusions, and how to find new solutions to solve scientific questions and problems. Let all doubts about yourself and the world be the engines that puts you into the open. Only when we feel uncomfortable, then we start to move. Progress is not made in certainty. Change does not emerge from comfort. The awareness of our shortcomings as human beings and as society is the fuel of our ambitions to make this world a better place. So however you might feel today, be it confident, be it proud, be it happy, be it doubtful about your future, dare to question yourself and dare to question the way things are being done. In case you're a stable genius, keep it to yourself. For all others, beware of the numbing effect of overconfidence or easy answers. This complex age of ours needs you, the young people, to transform your doubts into new solutions. I have no doubt you can and you will do that. Dear students and soon to become graduates, please allow me to now address you. Be aware of that a comprehensive education is the key to effort for lateral thinking, which in turn is a strong driver for innovation. With lateral thinking and hard work, everyone become an expert in almost any field or even create new fields himself. Such experts are especially badly needed to build up a sustained and integrated system for preparedness for future pandemics and also for African diseases. At the end, I shall not hide from you that I am convinced that vaccines designed, developed and manufactured on the African continent hold the key to a healthy and better Africa and even to a better world. I'm grateful that I can contribute my own modest share towards this effort and in so doing to add my own tiny bit to make this world a better world. And now I would kindly like to ask you all to join my journey, to share my vision and to participate in my mission. In Africa, by Africa, for Africa. I believe in you. You all, you personally can make the difference for Africa and for the whole world. Thank you very much.
Stand next to me. Madam Vice Chancellor, management of the university, graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take just 5 minutes to summarize the work that Prof. Deppenhardt is doing at our institution. You heard him speaking. You heard the DVC reading the summary of his curriculum vitae. So my job here is just to explain to you exactly what he is doing in our institution. You heard that he joined our institution during the height of COVID and to assist us to develop a vaccine that is suitable for our environment. We know that there's a lot of skepticism about vaccines in the community. Now, the type of vaccine that Professor Deppenhardt is involved in is based on the DNA molecule. Already your children are getting a lot of these vaccines in the clinics. One of those vaccines is the measles vaccine. It's a DNA vaccine. And thousands of children, if not millions, that are getting that vaccine. So when you take your baby to the clinic to get a measles vaccine, it is a DNA vaccine. And that is what Professor Deppenhardt is doing. Now, the main characteristic of these vaccines is that they are very stable. They don't need a very cold temperatures that goes to minus 140 degrees like the Pfizer vaccine. The DNA vaccine are quite stable. And why is the DNA vaccine stable? It's because the DNA molecule is a stable molecule. And that is why when the police are collecting evidence, they can lift the DNA from the clothes, from the floor, from anywhere, because this molecule is quite stable. So we are saying that our university is involved in this because we believe in this biotechnology engineering that is going to deliver a best vaccine for us. Because then we don't need a very cold storage for these vaccines. We can transport them up and down deep rural areas, which is a feature of our country. So this is a summary that I'm giving you for what we are doing at the university. Thank you very much, Professor.
Ani tule tulani mame
Yeah. Madam Vice Chancellor, I hereby declare that the candidates whose names appear on your program have duly satisfied all the requirements, and I have the honor to request that they be presented to you for the conferring of degrees and awarding of diplomas and certificates in their respective instructional programs. Thank you.
Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to inform you that the candidates whose name appear on the program received the National Diploma, Local Government Finance. Tiyi Spiwe. Dlani Kamani Colin. Fundagubi Zianda. Kweka Nolwazi. Kama Busiswa Lorata. Laselo Asanda. Mbana Malipatwe. Mangisa Batandwa. Mbanjwa Nomta Pamela. Mbodlololo Nosibusiso. Mhlana buhle. Mhlekwa ziyanda. Mkhaliphi anelisiwe cum laude. Mkhokheli aviwe beauty. Monono bongo. Mpongwana aphelele. Mthekwane anathi. Nameko Nombasa Nancy. Ngamani Zandile cum laude. Ndlela Nomahlubi cum laude. Ndunde Ngazibini cum laude. Ngango onke. Ngesman Azola cum laude. Kaduvana Sumelo. Ngabeni Nomvuzo cum laude. Ndiginga Mandisi.
Thank you.
Well done. Kengani Tobega cum laude. Singo Limnandi cum laude. Siswana Sibabalwe. Sicheche Ntlekazi cum laude. Sobekwa Khulumanco. Soldat Lindokuhle cum laude. Nchucha Nonjabulo cum laude. Vusani Asanele. Madikwana Yonela Princess cum laude. Zihlangu Noluvo. Zonele Asive. Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to inform you that the candidates whose names appear on the program receive the National Diploma Management. Gwaza Enat. Hans Sisego Alfonso. Kongwe Siya. Rekeza Siwapiwe cum laude. Lau Sipiwe. Lelegi Simpiwe cum laude. Mapulana Sive. Mangala Ongezwa cum laude. Makapela Sesetu. Malaubola Apiwe. Malunga Nosipho. Machikwe Cebiso Ezile cum laude. Machichi Asiphelele. Mbekeni Sinazo. Mkijima Nwabisa. Mkokodlo Zilungile. Ndwalaza Oyindanda cum laude. Nzimela Lusanda. Nkushubana Yolanda Sisipho. Nodayinge Londega. Nondabula Mbongeni. Sakwe Naledi Zizipho. Sesha Musi. Siengo Nomapelo. Skuphela Thandekile. Smethu Sive cum laude. Swartboy Sihle cum laude. Tupana Olwethu. Charlie Sposethu Faith cum laude. Jenny Kwanele. Zolwana Yonela cum laude. Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to inform you that the candidates whose name appear on the program received the National Diploma Policing. Bugu Siposethu. Gelem Simangele. Nkunqa Sisipho. Loliwe Linda cum laude. Manenza Sive. Matondolo ayabukwa. Mankayi Bongiwe cum laude. Mengu Andile. Mpondo Lusanda. Mukhobo Nolihle. Mjobile Loyiso cum laude. Nkayana Asithandile. Nyanda Siphosethu cum laude. Peter Andiswa. Sinogo Tabisa.
Madam Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to inform you that the candidates whose names appear on the program receive the National Diploma, Public Management. Bungu Siphamandla. Bonani Sikhokele. Bunwa Asanda Bulelwa. Bunguza Siyabulela. Bushula Sivuyisiwe. Bushula. Charlie Gqegqa Thabisa cum laude. Nguthu Thandazwa. Debeshe Nosiphiwo Gladys. Diko Xoliswa. Dome Sisanda cum laude. Sisanda. Doyile Ruben. Dubula Nonjatyambo. Janji Lazola Lawrence, cum laude. Amanda, chairman. Flepu. Komfa Bongani Terence. Kuzan Somila. Jack Tandokazi. Kewana Noma Wetu. Komanisi Apendule. Cum laude. Hooper Amanda Terence. Hooper Nobushte. Lalu Vuyo cum laude. Langa Yonela cum laude. Lombo Neliswa Sivien. Lunika Mlibokazi Sianga cum laude. Sorry. Luana Kanyisa. Babengwana Mpho. Madula Bongiwe cum laude. Madwansi Onke cum laude. Makalela Sibahle. Yes. Magiliwe Sesetu. Makate Nosipho cum laude. Makapela Kanyiswa cum laude. Makeke Babalwa. Mangali Pelokazi. Hello. Manganda Mvula. Makubela Nompumelelo. Masimini Nokulunga Valencia cum laude. Matonzi Asavela. Mbinda Sipelo Omega cum laude. Mene Noluthando Vivian. Mente Noluvo Mgoduka abongile. Mjaku andisiwe cum laude. Nalia yelako baba. Mjali elihle. Mkhize nomachaka primrose. Mlandu bangiswa Mlungisi Zenande cum laude. Mgaza Nandipha Mgaza Mtuyedwa Xolelwa Moleshe Thembela Olga Monsi Nolubabalo Mphaka Phumelele Mpendu Thembisa Mqhayi Bulelwa Mkhelane Nomonde Gladys Mkhwebi Phumeza Mkhwetyana noma telesonoyeka unit Kabelako Msandu Xolani Mzenande Sisanda. Oh, okay. Ndamase Phosisa Joyce Ondela cum laude. Ndevu Lulama Pauline. Ndevu no Zandile Inosia. Innocentia. Ndoza Michali. Nduzulwana Dunyiswa. Nendile Neliswa. Ngalwana Nosiphiwo cum laude. Ngandweni Zanele cum laude. Ngangisa Nonkululo cum laude. Kosekwezi. Gwabana Tembakazi Tamia. Gwevela Masikole. Kanta Nokuthula. Nobobo Ayanda. Sangu Pumezo. Dozi Niveliswa. Ina Veliswa. Toko Dombenani. Chochwana Vulindlela Pioneer. Tsuzi Zikhona. Nundu Neziswa. Nyamakazi Lita. Nyandeni Pumela Anelisa. Nyondo Yola cum laude. Pai Tom la Mistali. Peta Ngapu Kana Kanyisa cum laude. Hanuka Wandile cum laude. Ina Wandile. Hasmeni Sisa. Ratsibe Sibongile cum laude. Khilityana Size Kashila cum laude. Rogers Andrew Norman cum laude. Sali Monwabisi Brian cum laude. Samuel Piweka. Samuel Piweka. Sangocha Anelisa cum laude. Santi Tombokolo Maureen cum laude. Okay, it's fine. Shasha Koliswa Linora cum laude. Sigonyela Azola. Silwanyana nosiviwe. Enaje. Simelani abuhle. Sleku Kolani cum laude. Soga esihle. Somthi sibonga amandla. Sonjika avile. Sovasi Pilasande. Stirman Yonelisa. Tanzi Tumeka. Tefi Zanele. Va Ringa. Kauka Nyaniso Qina. Yali Pumeza. Pumeza. Zenzile Sihle. Zingani Zweletu cum laude. Zolwana liyabona. Zolwana yoliswa. Zondani sinethemba cum laude.
Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to inform you that the candidates whose name appear on the program receive National Diploma, Small Business Management. Benchu Andiswa. Bango Hlumisa. Penya Ongama. Cindy Lesejo. Cinzo Vuyolwetu Venus. Dem Sivenati. Diniso Sibulele. Funani siyamthanda Winnie. Funo Siviwe akhona. Gobile ayabonga. Green andisiwe. Jomose asemahle. Jonas siyamthanda. Kaleni avoluhle. Kayiyana Phelisa aphiwe. Keuti Kamani. Lobi Siphamandla. Mabinza asemahle. Makaphela aviwe Phumzile. Makawula esona. Makosi Sindiswa. Mangaliso Sinazo. Mahiwana Ayanda. Mata Viwe. Mbem Kola. Mbizweni Sipho sethu. Mfedu abongile. Mkwali Bomikazi. Mnwana Someleze. Mnyuthe Lusanda. Moshani aphelele. Mpahla Sanele. Ndawo Luvo. Ndlebe sesethu. Ndoza simnikiwe. Ngomani Thandazwa. Ngoko zimisele. Ngungwana asiphe. Ngumbela sisanda. Niklas Velisa. Mtunzi Lumka. Pelisile Pilasanda. Sloti Angezwa. Smith Ntabiseng. Stockholm Aphiwe. Thethi Zizipho. Mtunzi Azakhiwe. Voyi Sanele. Vusani Siphokazi. Chelisilo Yonwaba. Yapi Masande. Yawa Okuhle. Yono Khanyisa cum laude. Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Advanced Diploma in Management on candidates whose name appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Bizana Kakamba. Cebani Sionela. Kasela Nomkita. Geku Sinovuyo. Ngwabeni Lindokuhle, Hlamvana Nosphelele, cum laude. Jacobs Piwe Setu, Jali Simamgele, cum laude. Class Tembelise, cum laude. Langboy Belinda, Livy Azizipho, cum laude. Loleka Bulelani, cum laude. Lubuzo Zinhle, cum laude. Mantsense Spesande, Machini Loiso, cum laude. Mazansi Babalwa, cum laude. Mbanya Pamodi Fiesta, Mbewana Usanda, cum laude. Mda Sipogas, Menziwe Nokolo, Mngumnga Azande, cum laude. Mtsengwane Anelisa, Ngeba Abongile Patricia, cum laude. Nkopho Axolile, Nodipa Sikolile, Khwexana Siyavuya, Sabelani Lutho, cum laude. Skenkelana Ngumisa Gertrude, Sithelo Ongeziwe, cum laude. Sizani simthandile. Sompandla Kholiswa. Sontlaba Thabile cum laude. Madam Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Advanced Diploma in Public Management on the candidate whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Aplen Snethemba. Bani Yamgela cum laude. Pereni Yolanda. Billy Sisanda. Bobo Sharon Thandiswa. Tosana Sinovuyo. Deyi Bulelani. Dugada Ndabezwe. Femele Zinzi. Fonyelwa Yamgela. Ngate Siveti. Qiba Sinazo Zimkhitha. Kwahube Bulelwa. Ncidi Mpheleki. Obongwana Cecilia. Jezile Siphosa Mazizi. Ginny Alfred. Khethwa Iviwe Prudence. Keuti Nomve. Kaka Shumela. Leve Luvo. Oh, I'm happy. Madididi Elihle. Lukwaba Zizipho Onwabile. Majenge Nwabisa Priscilla. Mame Odwa. Maphisa Ahluma. Maphukatha Yolanda Zizo. Matika Anita Amanda. Matomane Pelogas. Mayekiso Nokuzola Pamela. Mazosiwe Thandiwe. Mbelwa Khululwa. Mnga Zizo. Mkudlwa Asavela. Mhlaba Chumani. Mkhethelwa Luntu. Mlatha Zizipho. Mdayi Siziphiwe. Ngoma Bonani. Mos Luyanda cum laude. Mpha Ungafi aviwe. Mpegeleni unathi. Mkwebedu zukile cum laude. Mshicileli zizo. Mvandaba sibulele. Mvandaba Theophilus Zolani. Mvinjelwa Lindelwa. Nanto Noncedo cum laude. Nzabela ongezwa. How to pronounce this? Ngo Tabisa Patience. Mwana Nokubonga. Ngele zikhona. Ngono Phaphama. Ngeba yamkela. Nkohla Sibusiso. Nojila Snoyolo cum laude. Nochezi Anelisa. Mchayi Onela. Ntuni Sinawo. Khamngwana Nande. Saudi Tombizanele. Sithela Azile. Sithetho namhla abongile. Sitsheke esona. Sobekwa Nzolo. Somacala Zintle. Songwelo Avile. Soyi Sivenat. Tafeni Piliswa Catherine. Tati Liko. Twesha Odwa. Duluma Sibabalwe. Visani Esinako. Kabadiya Lubabalwe cum laude. Zilindile Nompelo. Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Technology, Management on candidates whose name appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Okay. Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Technology, Public Management on candidates whose name appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Fugweni Nonchachambo Blossom. Komani Yoliswa. Mhlaba Nomakaya Yvonne. Mlele Sipogazi Jacqueline.
Ukibela phezu kwendlu batshe Jabulu mangithwelanga Jabulu mangithwele setanga Jabula mama Jabulu mangithwele setanga Jabula mama Jabulu mangithwele setanga Gibela phezu kwendlu batshela Jabolo mangithwele sethanga. Gibela phezu kwendlu batshela. Jabolo mangithwele sethanga. Jabola mama. Jabolo mangithwele sethanga. Jabola mama. Jabolo mangithwele sethanga. Mandla. Ayekwe mali yo. Ayekwe mali. Mandla. Awetho. Viva Academia, viva! Let me take this opportunity and thank the program director. Greetings to the Vice Chancellor, greetings to the Council, the IMC, Convocation, the university staff, the support staff, and the parents who are here. To you all in the wonderful name of our Lord Jesus Christ and Savior. Amen. Standing in front of you is Bathandwa Mangisa, who was the institutional president of Walter Sisulu University. It's an honor for me to be standing in front of you today, delivering an address at such a huge, for you, it was not just a blink of an eye. You have overcome many odds for being here. So many odds, like the odds of mental health and gender-based violence that are eminently growing in the sector of higher education, and of which our peers, each and every day, are being reported to be victims of such. And we need to be a generation that stands to condemn and report such malicious acts and behaviors. Walter Sisulu University is a university that has overcome many odds itself. Odds of becoming administrators and being domesticated by the white regime to administrate the agenda of the apartheid.